Hello, and welcome to the first UC GDC Pokemon podcast. I'm Chris,
I'm Matt.
and thank you for joining us today.
And make it double. No.
Okay, well, good stuff happened last night. This is perfect timing, because the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo came out last night. And I don't know about you, but I haven't actually got to finish it yet.
Yeah, I started the first one. I played that on the bus. So, you come into your new town with your mum, you meet the rival, you do a trial, you fight some dorks in skull uniforms.
I did get up to Team Skull. Oh my god. They are, embarrassing.
Pretty much, everyone had, mixed opinions on when they first come in. I like them now because I feel like even the game is mocking them.
Yeah, you're right. With Team Flare,
Yeah.
I didn't like them that much because, they took themselves way too seriously. They're, clearly just some stupid cult.
I liked them when I played the game, but they got really dated really quickly. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like they belong in 2013. And
yeah, everyone wanted to do cosplays of them.
Anyway, we've lost track. Team Skull. So I feel like, I don't know, they're just walking down the street in the stupidest little strut. And, there's that really sort of cheesy rap playing in the back.
Oh, I love it.
Is there it sounds like they're saying something, but I can't understand.
If it's like The World Ends With You, the sound bites have voices, but because of the DS's compression, it sounds really distorted.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening.
But yeah, you fight them. I think it was on purpose, but you beat the Pokemon in one move. I just did Shuriken and it just...
Yeah.
Like the little Donald Trump mongoose. And then you do the trial, which... So, what do you think of the photo thing? The Pokemon Snap feature.
Honestly, I do like that. I think if, this is the opportunity to implement something new about finding Pokemon. Because the games have always been about finding Pokemon in new locations, but because it's just basic overworld, there hasn't been all that much creative stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
Get cut, go over there, oh, here we go, found something. Here's a Chimecho, but I gotta, spend 3 hours trying to find one. Now, if they do this right, you could actually... I'm hoping what they do is you go somewhere, someone gives you a hint, there's something around here, you open up your Pokefinder and they're like, I'm going to actually try and look for it physically.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really neat if they pulled it off like that.
My one thing I'm hoping is that this is not something mandatory, as in, I hated in, Gen 4 where you leave the gym and that guy's like, oh, hey, want to learn about mining? And then you're on a 30-minute tutorial, or...
Yes.
In the remake of Gen 3, where you have to do that contest.
Yeah.
You have to go through basically a 10-minute cutscene of just nonsense. This is a contest, and these are contest things. I'm just
Yeah.
I know all this. Just let me go to the next gym.
Yeah, we picked it up perfectly fine the first time round. I don't see why they need to hold your hand for the remakes. I mean...
That just seems to be a new thing now.
A problem with a lot of Nintendo games, not just Pokemon. Yeah. So let's get on... the good. What did you like specifically about the demo?
My number one thing, even though it's very minor, is I like they kept the soundbite for when you find an item, but now it's a little ukulele playing instead.
Yeah, the theming of it, it's all Hawaiian. It's really nice.
I like the music. I'm trying to think of what else. I like... this is a good and bad, I'm going to say. I like how the Pokemon Center once again has the Pokemart inside it, but... I'm concerned this is something outside the demo. I do not want to have to press A every time I want to go into that building. Do you notice you have to press A to open the door? And I'm just don't do that.
I think they did that because now it's 3D, you're not really sure what doors you can go in. So it's just... I guess pushing up against it isn't enough to figure it out now.
Okay.
You need to press A.
Who knows?
I know, that is kind of a step backwards. Even though very minor. It feels like a little bit of a step back.
Yep. Trying to think of what else I enjoyed about this.
The characters, at least they're not forcing you to...
Well, at least not in the demo, they're not forcing you to interact.
Yeah, you're right. We don't actually know that much about the full game yet.
Yeah.
So I can't jump to any conclusions, but I hope it's not like Generation 5 and
where you
6,
had
where they...
the little gang.
Yeah, and it's
they'll
like
call you Big T or whatever you want them to
call. That's the idea itself is good, but the way it was executed is a problem, because they set up all these new characters again. It's like, oh boy, am I going to get to really know these people? 2-3 scenes max with them, and they're gone forever.
I do like in that one they sort of imply that you're the unbeatable rival. Like, you know,
Yeah, you're right. I never
like,
really thought
you know,
about that.
you have like no trouble being your rival in that one. It's just like, yeah, you're the asshole in this game.
I like riding Pokemon.
I haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh,
but
really? So am I
it looks-
further than you, or?
I guess because I got the Tauros Rider.
Oh yeah,
app,
that's all.
And then I haven't started that yet.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of fun.
It looks better than how it was implemented in the last gen. Where they
Yeah.
tell you about all this riding, and even your mother used to be like professional Pokemon racer, and then you do it maximum 3 times, and it's typically just to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
know.
just-
That was such a missed opportunity.
yeah.
We've been wanting something like that since, the first set of games. Like,
Yeah.
we had the little Lapras sprite, but...
I've wanted it since that episode of Pokemon where Ash rides Rapidash. Like, there's
Yeah.
that big race, and I'm just like, I want to race Pokemon. That sounds great.
Yeah, if there's anything that they should have been inspired by the television show,
That's
it
why I
should
was
have
sad
been
when that's why I was sad when Pokemon Dash came out, because that was as close as we were ever gonna get.
Oh no.
Oh, at least you got Munchlax in that. That was good.
That is true.
That was one of those pre-gen introductions.
Yeah.
So things I didn't like. The obvious one is Ash Greninja, because that is
Oh, boy.
stupid. And like, even if you like Ash Greninja, like from the show, you know, it makes no sense in the current gen, because it's like this ancient Kalos, legend that every 1,000 years a trainer will bond with their Pokemon so much.
Yeah.
And I'm scratching my head because I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm not Ash.
Yeah.
And second of all, we're not in Kalos, so why do I have Ash Greninja? Like, why is this here?
I know, it's such a bizarre tie-in.
And also with Ash Greninja and I've actually forgotten the name of the legendary that we're dealing with this one, the green one that used to be a giant Zygarde.
Yeah, Zygarde.
Yeah, so like with Zygarde and Ash Greninja, I always felt like that was meant to be like a generation 6.5 or something that they never got around to
I know
doing.
what you mean.
Sort of like how they had Pokemon Black White 2.
Yeah, yeah.
We never actually did get a sort of third game for X and Y, did we?
No,
it was just
even
X and
though-
Y, then it was the remakes, and now we're
What
in Gen
grinds me the most about that is they set it up. They had Yveltal, Xerneas, Zygarde.
Yeah.
They had all this extra stuff that they planned. The power plant in Colossus.
Yeah,
that drives me insane.
I
because
feel
there was
like
so much
I
they
feel
were
like we're
hinting at.
missing a game. Like maybe they
Oh,
were going to
they
make
really
this
are.
like Gen 6.5, and then they just scrapped it because I don't know what the reason would have been.
Well, because, got to get to the next gen. Got to get to the next gen. Only 3 years to
Yeah,
enjoy
kinda.
that next game. Remakes out. Okay, put it down all these hints. Next game, like we don't have time.
I still want to know what the hell is the deal with Genesect, but
I know!
we're never going back. Like once we've moved on from a gen, we never go back. Like,
Not even the movie explained it.
Not even
And
the
like
movie,
that
no.
was the perfect opportunity to. And
Yeah.
they're just like, here's another Mewtwo.
And I feel like when like we inevitably get to a remake of Gen 5, so like Shadow Black and Light White, they still won't because they'll be trying to promote whatever gimmick is big at that time.
Okay, speaking of gimmicks,
Yep.
do you think Megaforms are a thing of the past? Like, I know that they're still going to be in the game, like that element isn't gone.
Yeah, like the Megas aren't gone. I think
But are they adding new ones?
I think they will. I don't know. Like, I think if they were going to, we would have seen them by now. So maybe they're not.
Yeah, you're right.
So I would assume either there's something they're going to put in later, or I don't know, maybe they have given up on introducing new ones.
I feel like Ash Greninja is a Mega, but it's sort of the
Well,
essence.
he's the way the legendary trio from Gen 3 are Megas, like the Primals and the
yeah.
Deltas. Like, they are Megas, but you just don't do it the conventional way.
Yeah, and you don't even have a choice with this. It just happens in the demo.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think it was because they didn't want to have to make more complications, but I'm assuming there is
Yeah.
like a proper way to do it in the...
Because the professor already gives you the Z ring, so it'd be weird if he's just like, here's the Z ring, let me prattle on about that. Here's a Mega ring, let me prattle on about that, you know?
Do you find it weird you don't get to keep Pikachu? Because, like,
Yeah, that's really
by the end of it, it's
strange.
on your hat and bonding with you, and then he's just like, get back in the cage.
I think the problem is because it's a demo, the file size is so small. Like, you
yeah.
can't even choose where to save.
Yeah.
It only saves at random intervals after you've done stuff. There's this
Yeah.
one challenge where this guy's like, here's some Pokeballs, catch some Pokemon. You catch full 6. If you catch another one, it's like either swap it out with one that you've got or release it back into the wild.
Okay.
And then when you talk to him, he's like, hey, good job saving your game. Give me back these Pokeballs and release those Pokemon so you don't even get to keep it.
I don't want it.
Yeah. So it's not like... I may be wrong.
I do
don't
kind of
remember
like
it.
this.
Oh,
I do kind of like this demo more than the Ruby and
Oras.
Sapphire one.
Yeah,
because
I couldn't get invested with that at all. I don't know what it
well,
was.
it's like you fought two like an Aqua, like you fought Matt and Tabitha from Magma and Aqua, and then wasn't it every other day? All you basically did is just you open up your game, get an item, and then close it again.
Pretty much, yeah. That wasn't that fun. Then when
Yeah.
you got to the real game, it was just like, I can get berries, I can get potions, I don't need this.
Oh, yeah, I was happy for the demo because I got my silver Metagross, which is that's one of those shinies I've always wanted. So I was really happy with that.
I love Metagross.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off track. Bad things in the demo and just Alola in general.
Yeah, so we've done Ash Greninja. I like Alola forms.
I do too. Some of them don't make much sense.
No,
but
some of them are so confused. I cannot wait to hear why Doug Trios have wigs. Like, that's gonna... Oh, spoilers.
Don't worry, we'll clarify at the beginning.
Yep.
Yes.
Just like, what is that? Some of them are great, just like the ones they have introduced. Like, some of them seem like a bit of a stretch, but still okay. Like, I like the Vulpix one. I like Sandshrew ones. Like, they retreat to the mountains, so they have a colder climate.
Yeah, there's an explanation.
It's a bit more world building, and I know the show always sort of had that element to it. Like the anime, some Pokemon were different because they were in a different location. Like
Pinken Island.
Yeah, Pinken Island, and I've been rewatching a bit of Orange Islands, and when they
Okay.
go to Professor Ivy's place, like they have different patterns because
I
they just
liked that. That was really cool.
because the climate on the island just changed them a little.
Yeah, and they just sort of didn't do anything with that again because it's like, oh no, if we do that now, we're going to have to include these forms in the games and make them special events and big deals, even though, surely there's an algorithm that they could use, like Spinder. So many Spinders.
Oh, yeah, it's like 30 designs or something, isn't it?
No, there's infinite designs of Spinder.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. And surely they could have some algorithm to, like, just alter colors slightly, make different patterns on grass type.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I feel like now we could definitely be doing something like that, but
yeah.
I don't know. Save it for next game, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Some of the Alolas make no sense, but I still don't mind them all that much. Like,
How do you feel about Grimer?
So is it like Garbodor? Because it's like, I just looked at it. It looks like a melted rainbow ice cream.
Yeah, I know.
But what is his story? Is he like, because he's...
I don't know, I haven't read the description, but I think it's like plant waste now?
Oh, okay, because it reminds me of like Garbodor, how he's meant to be garbage, but his garbage is represented by blue and pink dots.
Yeah. Same with Trash Burmy. It's pink.
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
So, I don't know. I don't like Executor, but I don't... Like,
Executor is the best. It makes the most sense out of all of them.
I still have my thing on that, because like, I was reading the description on Cerebi, and it's like, people of Alola believe that this is the true Executor. And all I can think to myself is, like, if I'm in a situation in that game where I'm talking to the villain of the thing, and he's like, I got this button, it's gonna nuke the island, I would slam that button.
Oh my god!
That island needs to be purged. They think that Executor is how a Pokemon should look.
The only thing I don't like about it is its weird little face on the end of its tail.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking like, I think even they looked confused up on the neck. They were like, But yeah, no, he's got a new head on the back. Like, one of them didn't make it up to the top.
It is kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Although Executor was creepy to begin with.
Yeah.
This means Execute's gonna have an Alolan form too, doesn't it?
No, apparently, well, it's like Pikachu doesn't have an Alola form. It's just Raichu.
Yeah, you're right. That's really weird.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of the leader of the gang, I kind of like... I didn't like him at first, but I like the leader of Team Skull.
You mean the edgy teenage kid?
No, he's like the enforcer or some weird thing. The one who dresses like Shadow the Hedgehog. But I mean, the one with the baggy pants and the white hair. And I love the theory. The two theories I love, he's the guy from Pokemon Go. Or he's like alternate universe Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh my god.
And this is just them like heading towards an inevitable crossover with Pocket Morty.
I'd buy it.
Yep.
How do you feel about Ultra Beasts?
I feel sad because I knew if these things came out like 10 years ago when I was like 13, 14, I probably would have loved them.
Yeah.
Because they're so not even edgy, but they're very.
I get.
I don't
what
know.
you're
They're very
saying.
un-Pokemon. Like they seem very cool and modern, and
Yeah.
so I would have just been like, oh, they'll
Well,
go perfect
I
with
don't-
my OC Shadowborg. I don't know. I haven't got it.
I don't really have a problem with the idea of what, like, with Alola, they seem to be actually doing different things. Like, there's no gyms. That's really cool.
Is there no gyms in Alola?
No, they've pretty much confirmed that. I may be wrong. Don't take
Yeah.
my word for it. But as far as I know, it's all trials. Every island. Is a
Oh,
trial.
okay. I figured that was just something they were doing in between gyms, but that'd be alright. I think. Like I would like to see what a game could be like without 8 gyms. Like
Yeah.
people are actually hoping that would be the story of Black White 2.
Yeah.
Like you play the same character, and now they're the Pokemon champions. They don't have to.
That would have been pretty
But
cool.
then all they did was they just shuffled around the gyms.
Yeah. So what I'm gathering from this is the story about the Ultra Beasts is much more important than beating the league this time around. At least that's what I've gathered. So I may be wrong.
Yeah. I'd be alright with that.
Yeah. I like the Island Guardians. That's cool.
Yeah, I like the way they're handling that too. Like, the Totem Pokemon, and
Yeah.
I liked the fact that Totem Pokemon can summon an ally. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I was annoyed that I myself couldn't summon an ally, but because I figured that's why you got Pikachu, so you could be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Pikachu," but
So
I still
it's a
liked
double
it.
battle.
I still liked it. It was still a cool little thing that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it feels like, two RPGs that have done that and they're really good. Earthbound and Undertale. They both had.
Did do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure.
Okay.
Yes, and that's a step in the right direction because
Yeah.
one complaint a lot of people have with Pokemon is for an RPG, there's not that much interaction with the elements of the game. Like, I was talking to some friends and they said they didn't like Pokemon, but they loved most other Japanese RPGs. And they're like, take Earthbound, for example, you can get a cold, you can get homesick, and you can cure that in any number of ways. You can get a mushroom on your head and you need to see a doctor, but only a special kind of doctor who can get rid of it. In Pokemon, it's like, there's only so many status ailments, and they can all be solved by going to a Pokemon Center.
Yeah.
Things don't interact
like,
with each other. There's
your
no
player-
emotions or...
Your player feels like a robot. Like he doesn't need food or rest or anything. Like you can just.
Well, it's implied that you rest when you save.
Yeah, true.
Although, talking about that, that's a thing that I have an issue with the more modern games. Now, it may be just me being stupid, I don't know. But I feel like, with it being 3D, the imagination is gone now. Because in the older games, like, call me Gen 1, call me nostalgic, blah, 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 all that, do whatever you want. I just want to get this out, because, I feel like when I played through Oras, I was like, I'm still loving it. Hoenn's my favorite generation.
Yeah.
But why aren't I enjoying this as much as I should be? What's wrong? Is it me?
Yeah.
It can't be, because there are new things that come out all the time that I love. I fall in love with them. They capture my imagination and heart just like the original Pokemon games did. And I'm 22. And it's like, it can't be that I've grown out of Pokemon, because I still love all this stuff. Like, I own all these toys. I have badges. I obsess over it.
Yeah.
I think it's because back when it was 2D, a town, it wasn't... Yeah, it's definitely 5 houses and 2 people inhabiting it.
Yeah.
It's just small because it's a game. It's just interpretive.
Yeah.
And I can imagine the scene that's going on at the volcano where you stop Team Magma or... depending on the game. I imagine what that looks like. I imagine what they sound like, what their faces are. But in the 3D ones, now it's all 3D, I feel less like I'm imagining it because it's all laid out for me. When they have all these overplayed cutscenes with the characters having these...
I do hate the cutscenes. I agree with that one.
It's like, I'm not imagining it. Oh, so that's how it actually happened. That's not what I thought at all. It's a lot less cool when I see him just be like...
See, I used to think that, but when they released the red, blue, and yellow on the eShop, I realized I was playing yellow, and I was like, no, for me, it's just a case of I'm just too old to have an imagination for these games anymore. Because I was playing yellow, and I wasn't playing it thinking like a Pokemon trainer. I was just like, all right, yep, got my Pokemon, next gym, beat Misty, go to the next.
Yeah. You are right. I mean, I was super into Blue for a while, but I only stopped because uni took over. I don't know. I want to start up again as soon as it's over, but I can't guarantee it.
Yeah. But with the cutscenes, yeah, it's excessive, and it makes replaying really hard.
Oh God, I know.
I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, yes, I know. Archie wants to, use the orb to get Kyogre to mess stuff up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yep. So either a skip function or at least being able to hold down the B button to speed up the text would be good. Because typically I just end up watching a different show while I was playing Pokemon. Because I'd just be like, all right, time for the cutscene. So I just look up to the TV and just hit B. Hit B until I hear the sound of the battle starting.
Yeah, it really interrupts the gameplay.
It does.
The story is good. I like story in RPGs. Like, that's a big thing. But because it's not at that point where it's like, a console game where it's like, you want to watch that. It's like, come on, guys.
Well, my thing is, it's not engaging enough to hijack the game.
Yeah, the characters aren't all that interesting.
No. Well, they never are. They never really needed to be, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's the problem with
Lysander. It's a real name.
Lil blah.
He's a doofus. Who cares?
Yeah. He's probably one of the worst bosses, I think.
No question.
But just, I don't know. It's like, I've never cared about the characters being engaging, but now that we are forced to put up with this story, it's like, okay, can they be a little more engaging than just?
Yeah.
I don't even remember his point. All I remember is that he really just wanted to destroy everything.
He wanted everything to be beautiful, so he formed a cult and told them that we're going to destroy the world so I can be the leader of everything. No, he wanted to reset reality.
But, you can't destroy the Earth. You're on it. Cyrus from Gen 4 had this whole plan where essentially he was just going to remake the universe with the legendary in question.
Yeah.
But, he would not have also died. He would have just cleared the slate, rebuilt it to be around him, and then he'd be the ruler. But Lysander's just like, I'm going to destroy the world. But you live here.
That's a hope I want for the new games, because Team Flare was a joke, but they treated them ultra seriously.
Yeah.
Team Skull, so far what we've seen, they treat them as a joke.
Well, what I want, in my mind, would be an ideal thing, is they're just idiots. They're just a bunch of thugs, essentially.
Yeah.
They're basically like what Team Rocket used to be. They're not... Giovanni didn't really have a major plan. He just sort of had this little empire... Had this little empire of stealing Pokemon and trading... not trading them, selling them and all that stuff. And he had his casino and he had his gym. But he had no, end game, I guess. He was just running an empire. Which I think these guys could be a scaled-down version of that. They're not...
Yeah.
They're not taking over the world, they're just crooked. And then this new organization, I can't remember...
The Aether Foundation.
Yeah. Could end up being the real criminals.
Yeah, everyone's convinced.
And just something we have... What I would like is just, the first thing that's we have to purge them. It's like, well, yeah, you're right, we do have to stop them. Yes, purge them. You just ignore the fact they just use, inappropriate phrasing.
That would be really
you
funny.
defeat them, and it's just okay, on to the next phase. We defeated the leader. Yes, now we have to destroy the environment that created them.
The Aether Foundation is clearly the source of the Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, well, one of them is... One of the Ultra Beasts is essentially just wearing a dress and a hat and claiming to be a person.
Yeah!
I'm waiting for a Scooby-Doo thing where you're like, wait a minute... You be one!
I like the idea that there are other creatures in this world that aren't Pokemon.
I pray the Ultra Beasts aren't treated like Pokemon,
Yeah.
And I know that would actually probably upset some people, but if I can just catch them in a Pokeball and they have four moves, then how are they not Pokemon?
Yeah. They are extra special right now. Right now, they seem otherworldly. They seem... Pokemon is a very organic world. All sorts of crazy stuff can happen. But when you have, over 700, they stop being special. That's how I feel. When people say, there are over 20 billion different species of animal, and it's like, yeah, but these are fictional things that are supposed to be different animals. They're supposed to be special because...
Well, I think once you introduced God, nothing really quite... levels up to that.
When I was a kid, I thought that Gen 4 was going to be the last.
Yeah,
where do you go from that?
Everyone thought it was going to be the last one, because it's just one of them was literally God, and the other ones were time and space and an alternate dimension. Or, like, you know, some people think Giratina is the devil and all that.
Yeah.
But it's just like... And then the gen after that... What were even the legendaries? I don't remember anymore. Just 2 dragons that formed from another dragon.
Yeah, but they didn't, apparently.
I don't know. We're never going to see that dragon.
Yeah,
that
I know.
upsets. Again, that's my problem with them skipping over these gens. Just like, no, go back, explain that one, and then start a new story.
Yeah, it grinds me that Kyurem isn't the original dragon. If it isn't, why can it fuse with Reshiram and Zekrom? That's so...
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And then the legendaries for Gen 6 were just...
You know, life and death.
They were...
And
like,
love and earth. Love and birth.
Yeah.
Peace and war on the planet Earth.
Yeah, I could see Yveltal being a crystal gem.
Now that's a good rainbow quartz.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic. But yeah, Ultra Beasts and Guardians, I like the idea of there being creatures with powers that aren't necessarily Pokemon. Because it's like...
The Guardian Pokemons are interesting, because they don't really seem like they're legendaries. They seem, I think on sort of Rotom's level, just like...
Yeah.
They're not legendaries, but they're still like 1 per game.
Oh, speaking of Rotom, that brings me on to another thing I love about
the Pokedex?
Yes. When I saw that immediately, I'm like, that again, more world building. We've been told that Rotom can inhabit, you know, appliances, but we've never had any, like, real fun with that. It's just... changing its type. It's a ghost grass, ghost electric, ghost water. Yeah, so what? No one uses Rotom, I don't know.
Yeah. I was under the impression that Rotom can only inhabit things that had like an engine in them.
Huh.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, no, it was originally
it's like a fridge, a lawnmower. Oh, it wasn't a TV, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how you called it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I love the idea of the Pokedex being a Rotom, because it's like, that's again, some more things. It's like you're talking with a Pokemon. You're having some more bonding with a Pokemon, and it's a real thing.
I like it too, because... it's finally ended this, like, 10-year dispute of whether or not Rotoms are legendary.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, if everyone has one, then they're probably not, legendary.
Yeah.
Is that the idea? Does everyone have a Rotom Pokedex, or is it just you and your rival? Because...
I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be just a standard thing to Alola.
But initially I rolled my eyes, but I think it is actually a pretty nice little feature.
Yeah, I think it's really cute, and I'd like it if it were, like... It'd be cool if it would talk to you through intervals throughout the game, like...
Yeah, but they don't really talk.
Just like a little speech bubble, just like, hey, how you doing? I don't know. Everyone, like, originally thought it would be, like, really sass master. I saw a few funny...
Yeah, there's a few... Well, there's a few games and shows out there where, their little talking device will be a sassy...
Yeah.
Basically, I think people just want to Meowth as a Pokedex.
Yes.
And it just makes, like, bad jokes.
Another thing I really like, just little sprinkles of charm. I'm noticing a lot everywhere. Like, to counteract the whole, oh yeah, these characters are blank robots, just like that, no matter what they're doing. Mm-hmm. If you, like, tap the run button, your character, like, stumbles.
I was going to say, talking about the robot thing, have you noticed that your player's walking animation is just...
That's how I walk when I'm on the beach.
Like your arms just lock in place and...
Yes.
So I'm going to be forever... Oh, sorry.
And, pretty much.
So yeah, talking about the mindless robot thing, that's how your character walks. Like, the running cycle fixes that.
Yeah. But, yeah, just little things like that. If you tap the B, he'll stumble. If you spin around, he'll actually twirl.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
It's adorable.
Okay.
You should try it.
Yeah.
There's, like, just little things sprinkled here and there, and I just hope to see this world just much more alive.
Yeah, well, now they can... You know, they have the capacity to do that. Like, I remember last gen, the faces were pretty limited. Like, you know, your rival in Ruby Sapphire, they'd have their standard face, and then if you surprise them, like that was their 2 faces. Like, that was like...
So, I think what's going to be really good about this, about making like, a lot of people described X and Y as sterile. And I didn't see it the first time, but when I played through again, I was like, I can kind of see it.
I don't see it in X and Y, but I definitely see that in Ruby Sapphire remakes.
You know what the problem is? What? Those games were designed for a 2D environment, and now we're in 3D. So, going back to what I said before about, you know, less interpretive, now this is a game built from the ground up with full 3D. They're allowed to have much more angles and have it, like, not as standard, just up, down, left, right as before. X and Y did try and do that, but it's still, I could tell where north was at all times.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I think that's something that
I'd be
they're gonna
interested
do properly.
if they are going to do these island challenges. It'd be a bit too hard because of the way they set up the games, but if you could pick which island you go to next, like you don't just immediately go to...
That would be really cool.
Although the problem with that is then they'd all have to be sort of very standard levels, like, you couldn't have... Because, if I went to the South Island and they're like 20 levels above me, then it sort of defeats the purpose of having choice.
But we don't know what the challenges are.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was taking photos of Jamgo-O and Hakama-O.
Can we talk about Pokemon names and how they're getting very dumb now?
Yes, Comfy is the worst.
Which one's Comfy?
Comfy is the flower Klefki.
Ah, yeah. No, the dumbest one is Type Null.
Which is actually Arceus in disguise. They confirmed it. It smashes its helmet, it evolves, and then it turns into
You're joking.
It's the same thing without the helmet, and you can give it an item to change it into one of the 16 or 18 types.
Oh,
I can't remember, just one of the types.
Alright, that's also dumb, but I'm just talking about the name for the moment, just the fact...
Type Null. It's a Chimera, it's not even a real Pokemon.
Chimera.
Oh, yeah.
No, whatever. I'm not even the only person who thought this, but I saw I think it was the trailer, and I'm like, oh my god, Pokemon with a new type. And then I checked Seravia the next day, and it's just normal. And I'm like, wait, so what do they mean by Type Null? Oh, it's its name. It's called that. They legitimately decided that should be its name.
That's really funny.
You and I have a very big disagreement on this, but Cutie Fly, because I think Cutie Fly is one of the best names Pokemon's come up with. We've
already had Beauty Fly. We don't need Cutie Fly.
Oh, you got me there.
Yeah.
I still like Cutie Fly though, because it's just...
I don't like Beware.
That's what got me to accept that Pokemon. I still don't like its design, but at least it's got a good name. Although that means we can never have a bee-related Pokemon in another gen called Beware. Or I suppose they could. They could just...
That would be a great name for a bee drop.
That should have been...
Beware.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that should have been Vespa Queen's name. Combi becomes Beware.
What's another Pokemon name that... I didn't like Jamgo-O.
Yeah, I don't like all these names with dashes in them.
Yeah, like Tapu Koko, it's like... That sounds like a Hawaiian totem god.
Yeah.
But... I don't know, I guess Jamgo-O and Hakamo, I may be wrong, Hakamo-O sound like Hawaiian names.
I wish I'd written some of these down, because I can't remember all the Pokemon movie.
Salandit.
Yep. Yeah, Salabandit. No, it's Salaband... Salabandit would have been catchier, but it's like Salandint or something.
Salandit.
Yeah.
And that sounds gross.
Yeah.
That does not roll off the tongue.
Yep. And aside from the name for a second, they've revealed what it's been leaked what the final Pokemon look like, and I swear to God, based on the Fire's final evolution, if we have another Fire fighting, I'm boycotting this game forever. We can't do it again. There's too many of them.
You think they're listening to us, and then they do something like that?
Yeah. Because everyone's on the edge because they're like, it's wearing a wrestling belt. No, surely they didn't do this again, though. Surely they've learned their lesson.
What about the idea of branching evolution paths for starters?
Oh, I heard about this. So, Sun and Moon would have different final... that'd be cool if they did it. I doubt that's going to be the case, but...
Yeah. It might be, because... Yeah. Now, this is a really flimsy argument, but Charizard ended up having 2 Megas, but no one else did.
Yeah.
So, what if they're like, let's be fair to all the starters this time around?
Yeah. So, it's like, one of them would be... So, it could either be a Fire Fighting or a Fire Dark. That would still be stupid they'd have a Fire Fighting in there, but at least there's the option to avoid having...
I feel like they're doing it to spite us.
Yeah.
They listen to us on so many things, it seems now. These games are seeming very promising. I was like, I wasn't ready for 7th Gen when it came out.
I still remember the fact that, post Gen 6, they just released it and they were talking about next gen. They were like, we'd like to go back to some more simple designs. And I was just looking and I'm like,
Yeah, is that...
yeah,
What is it? So the lion and the bat? Like, they are not... I don't want to call them over-designed, but...
one that is technically not over-designed, but is still more complicated than I would think for a Pokemon is the School of Fish one. Where it's one fish.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy. There's a good name. There's a name we skipped over.
I am so upset.
Get schooled with wishy-washy. I think the English trailers have been helping me warm up to some Pokemon.
You're right.
Because I saw that and I was just like, you're alright. But it's just like, technically nothing about it is complicated. Even like its big submarine form isn't really complicated.
Yeah, they
This is
don't
the fact
draw
that,
all the fish. It's just a silhouette, pretty much.
is that the idea?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, as in like, yeah, but the fact that, yeah, it's calling all its fish friends, and I'm like, that seems complicated. I imagine it's only going to work in water, otherwise that's going to get really confusing. Like, you're out in the middle of the desert and you just summon like 100 fish.
Well, it's going to be like, Cherubi. No, Cherum.
Yeah.
Where, like, just if the weather changes.
Yeah. So, yeah, depending on its area,
yeah,
it can...
I feel like that's how it'll be. Although it might be something that you can just, like, call upon with an attack or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I think, I like the starters for this game. I think
I love the starters.
Like, this is the first time in a while where I had trouble deciding which one I would start with. I've gone with Rowlet.
I agree, yeah.
Moist Rowlets.
Yeah. That won me over immediately.
Yeah. Like, somebody said that to me as if to put me off Rowlet, and I'm just like, no, you're making it better.
Also,
I like, Populo, people are mean to Populo.
Poplio.
Poplio, yeah. People are mean to Poplio, but,
I don't know why.
he's fine, like...
And Litten's pretty cute.
Yeah.
All the jokes about Lit. Yeah, I know. But another thing...
When you find out your fire evolution isn't going to be firefighting.
One thing I do like also... First game in a while that I would want to evolve my Pokemon. This is probably just me being dumb again, but I kept my Tepig a Tepig. I didn't want Emboar. And I kept my Chespin a Chespin. I didn't want Chestnut.
I like Chestnut.
I like it, but there's something about it didn't feel right obtaining that as the last one to me.
I think the last time I had a game like that was, what's the Scottish Terrier Pokemon from Gen...
That's 5.
Yeah. What was its name?
Herder.
Yeah, Herder.
It's...
Those are definitely the names.
It's, wow, God, I'm blanking on my Pokemon names.
Yeah, I know. There's just too many!
Lillipup, Herdier, Stoutland.
Yes, Stoutland I didn't like, so I would leave it as Herdier, because it's just like, oh, it's so cool and so cool looking, and then it just gains 10 pounds and gets the biggest, like, Wilford Brimley mustache, and I was just like, I don't need it that bad. I basically only evolved it when I wanted to fill up my Pokedex.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I wasn't using Herdier all that long.
Yeah. Most likely just used for a HM slave. Yeah.
I don't think he was the HM slave of that gen. I thought it was the Meerkat.
Oh, yeah, but I hated Watchog with a passion, so...
I don't look, I'm not too crazy about the HM slave of this gen either. The fact that I've already made...
Wait, what one?
The Mongoose.
Oh, yeah, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Gumshoes.
Why is it called that? Like, I know Gumshoe means detective, but why is it called that? It doesn't look like a detective.
It kind of looks like it's got a trench coat. People could argue.
Maybe that's the idea.
I don't know.
I like the bird for this gen, and
Pearl.
Yeah, Boyd, and then I've now seen its evolutions leaked because of the demo, and I like its further stages. It's actually pretty cool.
Are they as good as Talonflame?
Talonflame was a very interesting Pokemon because it was actually it was an additional type, like it had fire attacks, and I don't know if it'll be as useful as Talonflame, but time will tell.
Yeah.
Didn't Talonflame get a little bit broken after a while, or it was a good counter, or
I think so. Everyone used it in OU, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
We've been wrong many times.
Yeah. See, we're willing to admit it, so that means we're going to improve.
No, it isn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I guess, do we have anything else to say about it?
Should we talk about the show? The upcoming Pokemon anime?
I would rather not.
Okay. There's a few things I think are going to be alright about it.
Alright, lay it on me.
I hate to say it, I know, like, the school thing sounds stupid, but at least they're going to do something different for once.
See, the reason I don't want to say much about it, because, like, I have an opinion, clearly. It's just that when a show runs for that long, doing anything new, I'm not interested. Because, like, I'd prefer they to do something new for the people who are watching it, because it's like, they deserve to not be in a monotonous rut.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry, but once, I can't see past the fact that he's been this age for 20 years, and now they're like, oh, he's going to try and better himself and grow as a person. It's like, you can't do that after that. And it's not a thing of, I'm ignoring other shows that don't age. I don't like The Simpsons for the same reason. Yeah. It's like...
Well, time moves forward, but no one in town does.
You can't just, like, make reference to, like, the 90s and Homer and Marge being in... meeting each other in the 80s.
They met in the 80s, but they were married in, like, the late 90s.
Yeah, and then, say that later on down the line. Because if you're watching it all, it's all one continuity. You can't just try and retcon it, like, a few years later.
To be honest, I feel like they
should just start again with new characters. I feel like Generations.
Generations. Back to Pokemon. Yeah, we got sidetracked to Simpsons. Yeah, for Generations. Generations is good. Like, it's... There's been bad episodes, I think. Like, some people don't think so, but it's still great. Like, it's a different kind of animation. It's a different kind of world. It's a different kind of delivery of things. Yeah, and it's just all these great times throughout history of Pokemon that we love. I'm so sad it's only 3 to 4 minutes max. I like that because it keeps them focused. Yeah, and I think it's almost a little better than Origins, because Origins had no time. They had 4 episodes to cover the entire game, and they had to skip everything. Whereas this, they've got so little time, like, okay, instead of just trying to cover a generation, we cover a scene from a generation. Or we cover a character, like, when you have Luca having a talk with Silver. I like the way that Luca looks in this. Yeah. Like, that's good. That's good. And, as a lot of people say, it's much better that I want more than I'd prefer to have stopped an episode ago, Yeah, yeah. And I just hope this isn't, like, one big... at the end, like Origins was? Yeah, at the very end, someone's going to be like, wait a minute, Giovanni in Gen 1, and the new Team Rocket in Gen 2, and the monster in Gen 3. It all adds up to this new Alolan form. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of people were betrayed by I Origins. Went catatonic for a moment. I was like, you can't... I got warned, so I wasn't... My problem is, Megas are so unrealistic. Yeah, they're very cartoony, and they're the Super Saiyan of Pokemon. Say what you will about normal evolution. Like, I always saw that as just, game mechanics have to rush through because, they can't have them growing. Yeah. And even now, like, when it's more literal, it's like, I can see past that. But Megas, they revert back. They don't grow into it. They go Super Saiyan... Change skeletal structure and everything. Mutate for like a few minutes. Yeah, that's come back. Weird when you think about that. Like, their body literally changes for like 30 seconds. But like, that can't be healthy. Yeah, I know. But so you can't have something that cartoony in a reboot that has Pokemon make animal noises. Yeah, animal noises, when they bite, they leave, like, teeth marks. Yeah, I was thinking this was a much more real interpretation. It's funny, too. Yeah, it's funny, too, because, this happens when they're fighting Mewtwo, and unlike the anime, Mewtwo is not a sentient being with thoughts and a plan to take over the world. It's just an angry monster. But then out of nowhere, it just, like... Don't worry, I've got the magic stone and the other magic stone. And then it killed me. It killed me. It was so close to being perfect. I still had problems with Origins because it was just, Yeah, they did rush over a lot. It was they're like... Maybe they were going to do 12 episodes and then they're just like, wait a minute, the game comes out soon. Oh, let's advertise X and Y. I think the thing... I think that was the other thing, too, because people were like, oh, here's this great tribute to the original game, and then partway through... that's what got me the most. They marketed it as a tribute to the original fans. Yeah. Like, it was something that... I'm not a Gen 1er. Please do not think I am. But I really felt that was just here's just a little trip back before everything got really complicated. You know? Just, if you want to revisit the original generation, here you go.
And then they bring in the
Then
most modern
They
thing
pull the
possible.
blanket off.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like, even if I thought Megas were really cool, like, for a game, they're implemented perfectly. Nothing wrong there. As a mechanic, wonderful. You know, there are some cool designs. It's fun. I'm not going to say no one should enjoy them. But even if I loved them to death, they did not belong in Origins.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope Generations isn't just...
Yeah, I'm waiting for
marketing scheme.
Generations to just be a big fat, like, build up to a Lola Persian or something.
That's one you didn't mention. Tell the good people about Alola Persian.
So, Alola Persian is essentially Nermal from Garfield. Like, the one that he kicks off the... No, actually, I can't remember the name, but it's the female cat that he's in love with. And she's got, like, the super long neck.
Yeah, is it Cynthia? No,
Maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's like, although people are just calling it Garfield, and I think calling it Garfield's fine too, because it is, like...
Even its, like, face is rounded somehow.
It's actually a lot thinner than it used... Like, not... Sorry, it's not as long as it used to be. It's a little bit more stubby.
What wigs me out is I'd expect the Dark Meowth and Persian to be from Unova, because that's New York, and it's like Gungy city streets. Why would there be dark types in...
I don't know about their typing, but the reason they're so fat is because they're royalty in... Or they were royalty. The idea is like, you know, royalty were like, oh, we like these meows from the other regions, bring them to us. And then they brought them, and then, like, from what I understand, the kingdom has fallen or something.
Yeah.
So they all just had to go live in the streets and... I don't know.
Spay and neuter your pets.
They didn't like being abandoned, so they went dark.
That's how it happens. Well, in Japanese, the original one, dark is evil type, so...
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, I think that draws this discussion to a close. We've pretty much hit our time limit.
Yeah.
And
we have talked for Pokemon for way too long, but that's essentially how most people go about Pokemon anyway.
Yeah, that's so true. So yeah, thanks for joining us in our first episode, guys. It was great having you here, and we hope to see you in the next episode.
Subscribe, and like the video, and share it, and like the Facebook, and share the Facebook, like the Instagram, like the Gram the Inst.
And put it on MySpace.
Just send us money in the mail. Just put $1 in an envelope and just send it to us.
Eternal happiness is just $1 away. Okay, well, I'm Chris, or Elvis Ditto. You can find me pretty much anywhere as Elvis Ditto.
I'm Matt, and I don't want to be found.
And thanks for joining us on our PokéPodcast. See yous. That was fun. Oh my god.